Hey everyone, today we are in the Deutsche Bank Center and we're going to be walking from 59th Street Columbus Circle back to Grand Central Terminal via 6th Avenue because we're going to be checking out the Christmas tree lighting at the News Corporation building. So without further ado, let's go ahead and head out and get this walk started. You know, I really love what they do every year at the shops at Columbus Circle. I'll give you one more look at it before we head out. It's so unique. If you come here, they play music and they set it with this really nice cadence with these star lights that drop from the ceiling. Okay, and now we are out at Columbus Circle. And as we look up, you'll see this really nice silhouette of New York City's Billionaires Row. You can see Central Park Tower, which is the tallest building on the row at 1,550 feet tall. And then you see Vornado's 220 Central Park South, standing at 950 feet tall. And the architect on that deal is Robert A.M. Stern. You can also see a little bit of the Steinway Tower, which is the skinniest residential apartment building in the world. Now, the building that we just left used to be the AOL Time Warner Center, and it was developed by Related. And they developed it on the old site of a convention center that was rather run down and dilapidated because they built the Jacob Javits Center on 34th Street near the now Hudson Yards. And ever since they built that Javits Center, the convention center that was on this piece of land here was sort of defunct. And it brought down a lot of the property values in the neighborhood. Now, you wouldn't really think that looking at what Columbus Circle is now. It's one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in Manhattan. It's the gateway to Billionaires Row. You have 15 Central Park West just off to the north, and you have the Trump International Hotel and Tower right here. So many people, including myself, say that Related was really the sort of the main developer that stuck their neck out into developing this area into what it is today and sort of revitalizing this section by 8th Avenue. This is now looking southbound on 8th. And this will merge you right on Central Park South. Pretty soon you're going to be able to see the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade coming down Central Park West, going around the Columbus Circle, and then merging on Central Park South. This is now Broadway. It's really quite a nice view looking back at the shops, looking very festive tonight. We're going to make a slight right on Broadway. This is looking over at the famous Magnolia Bakery. We'll now make a left on 58th Street and head by 220 Central Park South. That very luminescent building to the right. This is Central Park Tower, the main anchor tenant being Nordstrom. And here you have the main garage entrance to 220 Central Park South. This is a Vornado development. Of course, with the beautiful limestone by Robert A.M. Stern, and then you can see Central Park Tower just off to the right. Central Park Tower was developed by Extel Corporation, who originally pioneered New York City's Billionaires Row. I would say Extel is one of New York City's most active developers. And once we get to the corner of 7th Avenue, you're going to be able to see Alwyn Court, which is one of my favorite buildings in New York City. This is a really interesting view looking up at 157 West 57th Street, which is the first building constructed on Billionaires Row, and then you have Steinway Tower. And this is the main entrance to 220 Central Park South. There's actually two buildings that make up the entire development. You have the building that is facing Central Park South, then you have the 58th Street building, one of which houses the Villa Apartments, which are these ones right here. These have direct Central Park frontage on Central Park South. And then here you have the main building, which stands at 950 feet tall. The entrance is very reminiscent of the entrance at 15 Central Park West, if you've ever seen the main entrance there. It's really quite nice. is Alwyn Court. This is one of my favorite buildings in the city, and this is one of my favorite views in the city because you have this interesting juxtaposition in architecture here. And then of course you have the New York Athletic Club that sits right across the street. One piece of good news is that the scaffolding that is, well, once covered the facade of Carnegie Hall is now finally coming down after many, many years. Here you can see the main entryway for Alwyn Court. And you also have the Osborne right across the street, which is a great building. Now we just made a left on 57th Street. And take a look at this. The beautiful facade of Carnegie Hall as the scaffolding finally starts to come down. And if I zoom in all the way in the distance, you'll see this big luminescent ball. That is a snowflake that is hanging on the intersection of 5th Avenue and 57th Street, and then looking up at 432 Park Avenue, which is another building on New York City's Billionaires Row. I'm really excited to get down to 6th and the News Corporation. Hopefully by the time we get down there, the tree will already be lit. This is 157. You have two main entrances. The first entrance here is the residences. The second entrance that you see right here, this is the Park Hyatt New York. I'd say this is the best hotel in New York City in my humble opinion. And now we just passed 6th and a half Avenue. If you're interested in any of those Billionaires Row buildings, you can go to the property tour section of our YouTube channel, where we filmed numerous property tours inside 157, and we also just filmed the most expensive real estate listing in New York City right now, which is the duplex at Central Park Tower that is on the market for $128 million. Now the duplex right under it sold last year at a record-breaking $117 million. So it'll be interesting to see where this deal lands. We have Angelo's Pizza. There's always a really big line here. Smells really good. And this is the entrance to Steinway Tower. This is the original Steinway Hall. If you look up at the ceiling, you can see that beautiful artwork there. It's a beautiful building. There's both apartments in the original Steinway Hall, and then there's apartments in the mega tall tower. There's about 60 residential units in total. And now we've made it to the corner of 6th, or Avenue of the Americas. And now you're going to make a right and head all the way down. And check out the tree lighting. Next week we'll also be filming the balloon inflation on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, the night before Thanksgiving. They inflate all of the balloons that will be used in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Let me see if I can get you guys a really good shot of that snowflake. If you look dead center in the middle of the screen, you'll see that blue orb. They just had that lighting about 2 days ago. This is the Carnegie House. This building's in a little bit of hot water. This is now the corner of 55th Street and 6th. If you look on Macy's website, they claim that this is one of the best locations for viewing the parade. This is the Macy's, or excuse me, this is the Hilton flagship hotel. And if you ever watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, you'll see all of those cheerleaders with the Spirit of America jackets on. And they stay right here. The Hilton always hosts the Spirit of America Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade marchers. So pretty soon, starting next week, you're going to see a lot of those blue and red jackets all over the place. The Hilton's not a bad property. They just recently underwent a major renovation.
I just think she's stupid.
And since we're here, you know what? I'm going to bang this left on 53rd Street. And I want to show you the main entrance to 53 West 53rd. Because they have a restaurant in the building called 53. And it's not bad. I've been many times. And this is one of the buildings that's considered to be on Billionaires Row, even though it's not on 57th Street. It is a Billionaires Row-esque building. And if you ever go to the top of Rockefeller Center, you'll be able to see in a really clear view how it has three distinct colors. And this very unique exoskeleton, it's really an engineering marvel, the building, which makes it look really nice from the outside. However, on the inside, those angular beams can obstruct a lot of the Central Park views and some of the trophy units. All right, so we have the light. So we'll go ahead and cross. This is also right next to MoMA, the Museum of Modern Art. Alright, and here's the main entrance to 53 West 53rd, with the entrance to the restaurant 53 just off to the left. This is a major trend, and I would even say a prerequisite for many of the upscale buildings in New York City to have an in-house restaurant. Central Park Tower, you have an in-house restaurant which is called the 10 Cubed Club. 432 Park Avenue, you also have an in-house restaurant that is catered to by a Michelin star chef. So if you want to be able to compete in the luxury condo space in New York City, you're going to need to have some sort of Michelin star option in-house. Just the way it works. In any event, the dining room is quite nice. I really, really like it. You're essentially looking down on the people dining, which is a cool experience from above. And this is the main entrance to the private residences at 53 West 53rd, as well as the main entrance to MoMA. You do not need to be a resident of the building to eat at 53. So I would definitely try it if you are in the neighborhood. However, it is a little pricey, so keep that in mind. Perhaps we'll do a little bit of jaywalking here to save us some time as we come up on the Halal Guys. Halal Guys is good. However, I think Adele's Famous is the best halal food option in New York City. Now, I'll give you guys a little tip about Adele's Famous, okay? As we look up at this incredible view of 53 West 50, or of Steinway Tower, excuse me. Looks great at night. Now, if you've ever walked past Adele's Famous in New York City, you'll notice that the line is so cartoonishly long, and it'll probably take you around an hour and a half to 2 hours to wait on that line. But if you order online for pickup, you could skip the entire line and you get your food in 10 minutes. So I don't understand why anybody waits on that line. If you use the app and you place your order online for pickup, you just walk right over there and you can pick up your food. Skip the whole line. Okay, friends, this is 52nd Street. On 52nd Street, you have one of my favorite coffee shops in the entire city. It's called Watch House, and I believe the original location is London-based, so perhaps the next time I'm on a business trip in London, I'll have to check it out. I've never been to London, but that is a city that is on my bucket list. I really think I would enjoy it a lot. I've had many friends and business associates say that London is very similar to New York in terms of its pace. So, if anybody is watching this broadcast from London, I would love to. I'd love to visit. Anyway, we're now coming up on Radio City Music Hall, and perhaps we should cross the street over to the right side so you can see the main Christmas tree on top of Radio City. Today is the first day they finally have those Christmas ornaments up at the fountain. Radio City Music Hall is where you could watch the Rockettes Christmas Spectacular. Oh, this restaurant, Avra, is pretty good, and they just opened up a location inside the Moynihan Train Hall. Okay, now that we are on 6th Avenue, you have a really nice view of Radio City. We're going across the street because you're going to have this. This is one of my favorite views during the holidays, with those big red Christmas ornaments. And then in the background you have Radio City Music Hall. There's really nothing quite like it. It's beautiful. And here, you can see those main red Christmas ornaments with the Radio City Music Hall in the back. Really quite the nice view. What do you guys think? Really makes the city look festive. And now we'll check out the News Corporation Christmas tree. Oh wow, look at that. This is the spire of 270 Park Avenue. That's the new office tower by JP Morgan Chase. Jamie Dimon spent a cool $3 billion on that. Now, if you're visiting New York City during the holidays, you have to come and eat at Del Frisco's. The food is decent, but the dining room and the ambiance is really what you're going for. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go inside and ask the very kind waitstaff if you could sit on the second floor. Because if you sit on the second floor, you have this really, really unique view of those Christmas ornaments and Radio City Music Hall. It's really nice. And you could even see a little sliver of the Empire State Building in between those buildings. And that is the line for Adele's Famous. That is crazy long. But again, if you just order online and pick it up, you'll get your food in 10 minutes. Okay, and here we are. This is the Christmas tree at News Corporation. I think it looks really good. Let me know what you guys think. They quite literally just lit this up maybe 30 minutes ago. Let's see if we can get a little bit better angle from the other side. I think it looks pretty good. You can see all the camera crews cleaning everything up from the tree lighting ceremony. And this is the main studio where they filmed the 5. now 46th Street. And we're going to come up on Bryant Park soon. We're going to see some really nice shots of the Empire State Building as well in a moment. Here you can see the spire.
Right together, like you feel like fish. He knows that you tried.
This is the Steinway piano. There's some really beautiful pieces in here. This is one of my favorite views of all time. This is right as you come up to the Bryant Park Winter Village. And you have Bank of America Tower just off to our right. And we're looking dead centered at Salesforce Tower.
not hanging out.
All right, and we're now inside Bryant Park. I'm just curious to see how many people are ice skating tonight. We'll just quickly take a peek at how many people are skating. It actually seems like a lot of people. And then all the way by the Stephen Schwartzman building, you can see the Bryant Park Christmas tree. And then that's looking up at One Vanderbilt and the Chrysler building. About 2 blocks away now from Grand Central Terminal. And the street traffic is crazy busy.
Oké, ik zeg even, deze is nog wel samen zitten jij en ja, maar hij gaat niet vanuit de wacht. Nee, ik zei dit kan één optie. En ik zei de andere optie is dat het alleen maar 5 minuten zijn. Maar hij gaat laten het niet verhouden. Ja. Hij gaat niet vanuit de smal daarheen komen. Nee, ik zei gewoon dat we een idee hebben. Ja, ja. Even kijken naar
Great shot of one Vanderbilt. If you all enjoyed that walking tour, feel free to subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, and as always, we will see you in the next one, and thank you so much for watching. Take care.